Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or the gentle art, has always been a martial art for the little guy, for the Davids to take on the Goliaths. Since its inception, a large part of the appeal is that it allows a smaller man to defeat bigger, stronger opponents, and for so many of us that's where the beauty lies, using leverage and technique to overcome power or brute strength. But mastering technique will only get you so far if the other person has done the same thing whilst having a strength and weight advantage. It's only natural that as any sport develops, the skill gap closes and you end up relying on attributes other than skill to determine the outcome of matches, such as speed, endurance, strength and power. But in our sport, it's widely speculated that the majority of our athletes are using performance-enhancing drugs to get an advantage over the competition.
Everyone at the highest levels, for the most part, is on something. You know, like our team is pretty much like the only people who really, I think, don't use steroids to a certain degree.
Currently, pretty much the only type of drug testing that exists on the highest level of Jiu-Jitsu is a planned test to any member of the podium of the IBJJF GI Worlds.
Yeah, so what does Victor Conte say? He's like, if they tell you when you're going to test, it's not a drug test,
it's an IQ test.
Yeah.
This makes it pretty much redundant, as anyone that knows of an incoming drug test would naturally do anything in their power to easily avoid detection. The test also isn't as multifaceted as others in the similar sports, such as USADA's testing program in the UFC, which is widely criticised but still at least has an element of randomness involved with it and regularly catches people cheating.
For ADCC, there's no drug testing at all. I'd love to pay someone to pretend to be a reporter and like interview these guys and be like, what do you think about them implementing drug testing this year? And just see
The reactions.
the facial expression change.
You might be wondering what the problem is if everyone is seemingly using PEDs. In a way, that levels the playing field. But there are an army of self-branded natural athletes that are speaking up about this issue, including two recent ADCC medalists, the Rotolo brothers.
Team Natty, exactly. Team Natty. I'm pretty sure me, my bro, and him are like the only Natty, and AJ are the only Natty guys in this thing. So, Team Natty, let's go.
Lucas Lepre has also been very vocal about the damage this does to the sport and how it affects future generations, if they feel like they can simply take shortcuts to winning the major titles in BJJ.
You can see that is normal. Imagine how mass is going to be the sport, you know. So
even claiming that there are certain professors encouraging students to take PEDs.
with the professors as well, sometimes we can see the professors sometimes, you know, pushing the students sometimes to take it since they're young, you know, so that's not good.
As a sport and a community, it seems like we've come to a fork in the road that could be a pivotal moment in the sport's history. On one side, we put in place a sophisticated drug testing program that tests professional fighters from all organisations that want to compete in BJJ and ensure to the best of our ability that the athletes competing are all natural. If we ever want to be an Olympic sport or a sport considered among the biggest in the world, this seems to be the route to go down, and one which would allow us to level out the playing field for those athletes not wanting to potentially risk the serious side effects of taking PEDs. On the other side, we allow physically enhanced athletes to reign supreme at the top and turn a blind eye to whatever they're using to get there. It's difficult to say what categorically is right for the sport, but what is clear is that if you offer big paydays and huge accolades for any sport with virtually no drug testing, you'll get people that will do almost anything to win.
That's the reality, is there's just no drug testing in jiu-jitsu.
So it's super clean.
So no one takes anything, yeah.